The girl next to me, I'm going to introduce you to this lady, but her story is the majority, not the minority, and don't ever think it's not. So don't ever think you're alone. I can't wait to share this story, but on top of it, I can't wait to share what she's doing now with her business, because we're all about value. Once I found out what she's doing with her new business, I was literally texting her saying, I need you. Because I'm a big believer in business. You have to identify your weaknesses, enhance them, so you can double down, triple down, quadruple down on your strengths. And this girl right here is she's living, breathing a realness of my weaknesses, and that's organization and keeping things all together in the back end. And for my other businesses, Kellee, I had to have that, because you have to know what your strengths are, right, but you got to understand what your weaknesses are and be able to enhance them in order to scale, in order to grow, yep, and in order to keep your sanity. And also, and for you, and we're talking small business here, so you don't become an employee of your own business, and we'll talk about that. But that's why I'm excited about this show. I'm pumped, but on top of this, you guys know we're going to bring you behind that black curtain, and we're going to show you that you're not alone. Right? And that whatever this part of the story is that you connect with, you will be able to connect with Kellee after, and she's going to post all of her stuff. So I want to get going. Kellee, introduce yourself.
Hi.
Here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, and you're going to share where you started, where this all started, okay, where you're at today, and where you see yourself going. But we're going to chunk it down. Yeah. We're going to pull those golden nuggets out. You ready, girl?
I'm ready.
That a girl.
Let's do this.
So, where were you born and raised?
I am born and raised Fort Worth, Texas.
I can hear that accent.
Yep. I have not really in any big hurry to get back, okay, because I like seeing other places, yep, and experiencing, yep, other things. But it's in my heart. It's in my roots. Home. I never tried to lose the accent.
It's home. It's like me from yeah, Jersey, right? Yeah. I tell people I'm from Encinitas, they never believe me.
Yeah. I kid people, and whenever they say, "You're from the South, aren't you?" and I say, "Yeah." Where are you from? Fallbrook. And it kind of throws them back for a second. No.
No, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
I went from Texas to Tucson, Arizona, to Atlanta, Georgia, all of it with work, and got put on a project up in Ontario, okay, and fell in love with the West Coast and said, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be.
That's awesome. I have a little bit of a similar story about falling in love with SoCal. But how long were you actually in Texas?
Left Texas for the first time in 2005.
Oh, wow. So you were really born and raised.
Yeah, wow, absolutely.
Just in Fort Worth?
Yes. Wow. Yeah, just in that Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. Okay. And what had happened was I was working for a company that was shutting down before it was going to Tucson, Arizona. Okay. And so many of my coworkers decided to leave the company so that they could stay in Fort Worth. Okay. And my daughter, who was a varsity cheerleader, junior in high school, looked at me and said, "Are you crazy? Right. Somebody is going to pay you to move. Let's go see what else is out there." Amazing. So she was all for being uprooted here in high school. And
why do you think that was?
She was born with wings. Okay. Yeah.
She just has it.
Yeah, she does.
She just has it.
And I mean, we've been all over the place. As a matter of fact, when we moved to Atlanta, she started college, Savannah College of Art and Design. She ended up transferring to Savannah, which was 4 hours away from mom, and that was the first time she was that far away. When she graduated, she and her boyfriend moved to Aspen. Mom's still in Atlanta. Now only child is in Aspen.
I like this girl, man.
They've spent the past almost 4 years in Seattle. So at least now we're at least on the same time zone.
But I love it.
But she,
wow, she's just, she's got the courageous, that courageous spark, and probably very curious, right? And so let's get back a little bit. Growing up in the Fort Worth area, growing up in Texas, it's in a way, it's like growing up on the East Coast for us, Jersey, Philly, New York. like that's your hub, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're very proud of that, right?
Yes.
So you're very proud of being from Texas.
Yep.
Did you ever see yourself early on leaving?
No.
Never, did you?
Never.
Never. I know.
No.
Right?
Right. No, it never even, it wasn't a thought.
Right. This is where you're supposed to be.
This is because all my family is there, and that's what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And this company that I was with allowed me to be a single parent. Okay. And I had that security. Okay. When you say they allowed you, what do you mean? When my child was sick, I got to stay home. Oh, gotcha. So they're real flexible. They were very flexible. Okay. And of course, then I would make up for it on the days when I didn't have her. But they allowed me to put her first, and there was security. What did you do? What kind of company was it? I worked for Kimberly Clark. Okay. I am by profession a planner, production planner, demand planner, capacity planner, because it's manufacturing. Oh. And I am a professional project manager. Okay, but let's break this down a little bit, right? So when you say you are a professional planner, give me that. What is that definition? You make sure that what you need is where it needs to be when a customer needs it. Okay, so customer service, right? Yep. But much deeper. Because you're not only working with the customer, you're working with the back end. I'm working with the back end. You're working with the people in your company. Right. So you're making sure that project or that product gets out on time to the right people. Yes. I got you. Yep. So okay. Yeah. All right. And I like that. The division that I worked for was the healthcare division, and we produced medical devices. Oh. So this wasn't, canned goods on the shelf. And Kimberly Clark is known for toilet paper and pretty much the diapers and all of that. So it's more consumer goods. Well, not this division. Mm-hmm. There were surgical procedures that were scheduled around. Oh man! So you were under the gun. It was very intense. Life and death stuff you're talking. Exactly. Wow, on a consistent basis, huh? Yes. How long did you do that? I worked with them, and I did that for almost 17 years. Wow. Did you like it? No. Not at all. I would love to sit here and give you a flowery answer. No. Right. It was the security. Right. It was the money, because after 17 years, you're making decent money. Of course, and you got all the benefits. And all that. Exactly. Yeah. I've got 6 weeks of vacation, and I had the seniority and the respect that when these out of town, out of country projects came up, I had no one at home. I raised my hand and said, Let me ask you this. And I know where you went with this, right? No, you didn't love it. Right. But let me ask you this. And I think I know the answer, but I want to ask. Did you enjoy the challenge? Yes. I know it. I can just see it. I feel that. Yes. So there's things that, because we talked about this before we went on camera, right? Because you had to stay in a certain lane, right? Now what you know now, we're going to get to that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't love it. But I can tell by that sparkle, girl, that the challenge, because that is a huge responsibility. Huge. And there was a rewarding feeling at the end of the day, even though I was working very hard for someone else. No, but for you, I made a difference. The work I did made a difference in somebody's life. And also, let's even take this in another direction, but even as deep. For somebody else, for the company, right? Whether they recognize it or not, I'm sure they did to a certain degree. But for you, in other words, as that pride thing, right? Yeah. Okay, these things had to get out by December 4th at 12 o'clock noon was it, right? And I'm just using that. No, exactly. And it got done. Yes. So when it gets done, see, it's so interesting that the girl we had on last night, she, a little bit of the same story, but where I'm going with this is she started her own business and everything else, but all her experience, like you, right, builds that you're really an entrepreneur, and you were, right? You were just running a division for somebody, but
you might have not had the skin in the game money-wise, but you had everything else in the game.
I did,
right?
absolutely.
And when somebody's that prideful, right, and rightfully so,
yes,
that's skin in the game.
yes.
And you can say whatever you want. And you can say, oh, no, she worked. No. You were going through that entrepreneurial boot camp for 17 years.
Exactly. Yeah, I took it personal.
Yes.
And there was a huge sense of accomplishment when it went well. There was remorse, when it didn't.
Absolutely. And ownership.
And definitely ownership.
Ownership, because listen, at the end of the day, in order for you to lead, I'm preaching to the choir for 17 years doing that. But that's what I want people to understand is don't get caught up in the title, right? Don't get caught up in what you see from the outside. Go in deeper, break this down. Look, at the end of the day, you were running a division for a company and you had the same issues and responsibilities and decisions like a business owner, like an entrepreneur, and there is no, there's no discussion. That's just the real. Right. That's the real. So what's so cool about that is probably didn't even realize it. You were being groomed. You were being, filled with a lot of wisdom, right?
Yep.
When things went down and when things went up,
exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So I just want to make sure people keep this real.
Well,
I love that.
And after I took the assignment in Ontario and was out here for a little over a year and fell in love with the place, when my supervisor called and said, "Project's over, it's time for you to come back to Atlanta." Mm-hmm. All of this security, all of this money, all of these benefits. I cried for about 10 minutes and said, "I can't." And he chuckled on the other end of the phone and he said, "I knew when I sent you, it was a one-way ticket."
Yeah. And so let's table that for a minute. Let's go back a little bit, right? Because I still want to bring them, I want them to know who you are, right? Because that's the key. So how long were you, so for 17 years you were with this one company?
Yes.
And how long were you in Fort Worth with them?
Was started in 98. Roughly. So 7 years.
Okay. Yeah. And then from there, they moved you to where?
To Tucson, Arizona.
And how long were you there roughly?
3 years.
Okay. Then they moved you to Atlanta.
Then they moved me to Atlanta.
Then you were there for a few years.
Yep.
And then they moved you to Riverside.
Yep.
Wright County.
Yep.
And when did you move here?
In 2013.
Oh, okay. Just not long ago.
Nope.
Not long ago. So then they moved you here. Now in 2015, was it?
14.
Only 14 that they told you
that
the project's over.
Yep.
And then, now, did you have any idea that the project was going to be that short?
No, well, the project had been about 2 years, but I knew that it was coming to an end.
Oh, you knew? Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was coming to an end.
Where did they want to send you? I'm just curious.
Back to Atlanta to go and do the next assignment. Okay. Next project.
So, let me ask you this: what? And just so you know, I came out here in 2005 with my ex, where I was married at the time. She's a corporate event planner. So we went from Old Town San Diego for a 12-day trip, Old Town San Diego, and we ended in Santa Monica. And after that last day in Santa Monica, I said, I gotta be here, right? And in 2007, I sold my business, sold my house, and then in 2008, I was here full time. We went through a divorce. But I get it, right? It's that bug, right? That you can't believe.
Yeah.
Like, it gets you. It just pulls you in.
Yes.
So you got major decisions now, right?
I've got major decisions.
Right? You got major decisions. Yeah. You got major fear barriers, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I walked out of the office and I looked at my team. Actually, my business partner in this last venture was project manager. We co-managed.
Yes, you guys went. But before that, let's really take them here, right? Get them in your mind. So when they told you that the thing was over, how much time did you have to give them a yay or nay or whatever? Figure this out.
That phone call.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. And you were so sure that you gave the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I cried for just a couple of minutes because I couldn't believe what was fixing to come out of my mouth.
Right.
It just flowed.
Right.
It came out.
And it's just,
I'm not going back.
okay.
And I said, let me stay out here until the project ends and the governance period begins, and we turn it over to the client, which is going to be probably 3 or 4 months down the road.
Okay.
But on this date, I will leave the company.
Now, you had this 4-month window, right? That you knew, hey, listen, this is D-Day's coming, right? And I say D-Day because that's how you felt.
Yes.
Look, at the end of the day, let's keep it right.
Yep.
So
don't
terrified. You hear what she's saying? Terrified, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because this is brand new stuff,
right?
Brand new territory, and now all that security.
I had no idea.
Gone.
Yes.
It's gone.
Yes.
So now, what are you doing besides your job? Right? What are you doing in those 4 months? What's going through your head? What kind of action are you taking, or non-action?
No, that was where I was going. Is that the other project manager? I was the project manager from the client side. He was the project manager from the vendor side.
Okay. Oh,
and he was about to start his own company.
So, and he was saying.
And I walked out and I said, I just quit. Are you hiring? And he said, I'm not hiring. I'm looking for a partner.
Wow. And what was your first reaction?
Okay. Relief.
It was.
And then excitement.
Okay.
And then it was that fear was just gone. So, I mean, in the span of an hour.
Yeah, and a little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. Did I just say I'm going to quit to I'm a partner in a startup? Yeah.
Right. I mean, you went, I'm going to quit. What the hell am I going to do?
Yes.
To I'm a partner, and you just move, and that's life. You know, I would say, look, life is about perception, right, and how you perceive it. And one of my mentors told me a long time ago, you have a choice, right? Life always gives you choices. And life says you can look at this as a major fear and let it overwhelm you, or you can look at it as an adventure. Yeah. Because you only have a certain amount of time here. And I take that with me, and obviously with some aha moments that changed the direction. But now, you know you have 4 months to go, and you got to do your job, right?
Absolutely.
But you also need to start to build a business. Yes. So take us into that.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well, we were very fortunate that the company that we were doing the work for needed ongoing IT support. Okay. And that's what my partner.
So the initial company that had you all over the country needed IT support.
Needed IT support. Okay. And so we were this was at the distribution center. So the distribution center, just day one of our business, we've got them under contract for a year.
You have a client. Yeah. A solid client. Yeah.
And that was exciting because day one we had money.
But did you know the IT world?
No, I didn't. But see, all my background is in logistics because that's where the planning piece is. Yeah. And it was a distribution center. So where my partner was more of the IT, the technical piece of it, I was the operations piece. Okay. I knew how the transactions were supposed to be. Mm-hmm. I knew what was supposed to go where.
And the timing.
Yes. Right. And worked with them on how we better the system for storing product, how we better the system for doing quicker turnarounds. So you are a real systems person. Yeah. Yeah. Because we're talking about I mean, I'm a nuts and bolts kind of. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So would you consider yourself a systems person? Absolutely. Okay. Yep. Okay. I mean, almost had to be for what you had to handle. Yeah. Because if not, it would just implode. Right. Right. I mean, that's the real. Okay. That's very interesting. So now 4 months is up. Yep. You guys are on your own. We're on our own. What's going on? We're thinking we got it made. Okay. And they were our only client, but it was because it was keeping us busy. Yeah. There was 3 of us, and it was keeping us busy 40 to 50 hours a week. Yeah. And then I guess 6 or 7 months into it, the company came back and said, okay, we are at a point now where we don't need the 3 of you. We only need one of you.
Okay.
And that's when my business partner and I said, okay, we're going to keep negotiating these contracts and we're going to keep this going as long as we possibly can, but we're going to look for another revenue stream. We're going to try to take this in a different direction and make it more local and get us out of IT and logistics, because we've both been in it for so many years. We wanted to do something else.
And which was?
It was in the home improvement industry.
Okay.
Yeah, we were kind of a middleman between the contractor and the customer.
Okay.
We would try to put them together, and we had a really good business model. Unfortunately, we ran out of money and time before it was able to take off.
Okay.
And when we lost the contract
from the original company,
and we couldn't replace it, there was no money coming in.
And see, that's where I want to talk about, right? And break this down a little bit for people. Is you and your partner, were really good, awesome executioners on the back end of businesses, right? You are exactly what I look for in a partner, because what you do, what you shine at, what you take pride in is exactly what I'm horrible at, right? I'm not a systems person. I'm the one in the front bringing the business in, right? So looking back, right, and the easiest job in the world and the most unrewarding is a Monday morning quarterback, right? That's what we say. But looking back, in order to dissect and know what can I do, what could we have done different, would have been getting that contract. And I'm telling you things that but I just want to share this.
Right.
Getting that contract and then looking for that sales rep or that somebody with that personality, right?
Yes.
That says, let us keep bringing the work in. Now, here's something that's real important, and I know you're going to back me on this.
Okay.
Just because I can feel it, right? Is one of the things you said is we were doing 40 to 50 hours a week, and we were very busy with that company. Mm-hmm. So when I now suggest maybe a sales guy at that time or a saleswoman at that time, most people that don't have their own businesses are going to say, well, wait a minute, they're already saying they're busy. No. You take that on and you figure it out. Because when it rains, it pours. Yep. When it's a drought, it's a drought, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to be clear on that, and I want your feedback on that. Listen, you as a business owner, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You get the resources.
Yes.
Because that's a much better problem to have than the other.
Yeah. I could get things done.
Yes.
I was a mover and a shaker.
Yes.
I could get things done.
Yes.
I would walk into public and just cower.
Yes.
Because it wasn't me.
But here's the other thing, right? That people gotta understand, I love this, is what she just explained is she goes into public and she's gonna cower. Me, I go in the back and I got to try and figure out these systems. You want to see a grown man cry? Come watch this, right? Because that's not my world, right? It's a nightmare for me. Yeah. And I'll give you a great example. My first business, I had a public adjusting firm in Philly. And a public adjuster is licensed and bonded in the state to represent the homeowner against the insurance company on a contingent fee. So any property claims, we would negotiate on her behalf on a contingent fee. My first business, when I started that, my partner was Tommy. He did all the adjusting, right? I was the guy that brought all the work in, right? And after about a year and a half, he just couldn't handle and he had some personal issues, so I had to buy him out. Well, my office manager, Robin, right? I used to say to her, she ran everything, and I brought the work in. I had a public adjusting firm, my own firm, for 5 years and never adjusted one claim. I brought guys on but here's the thing. I used to say on Fridays to Robin, I give her a check and I'd say, so what are you doing this weekend? She goes, me and my husband. I go, listen, take it nice and easy and slow. I need you. I said, I'm going to put you in the Pope-mobile so nothing happens. I swear, I'm not kidding.
No,
but that, right? For someone like me, I need you to handle and know that I knew, right, when she was chasing my money, She was handling everything on the back, making sure all the claims were, and then checking on the adjusters, and then would come back to me, give me a sheet, and that was my meeting,
Yes.
right? It was a cheat sheet,
Yes.
right? I felt like I was back in school again. I got the cheat sheet underneath the desk.
Yep.
But that's why I want people to understand how important it is to know who you are, right? And enhance your weaknesses.
Yes.
So
and be able to make that decision at the right time to get that person that takes over that weakness. Right. So that I can continue to do what I'm strong at.
And I'm not making excuses because you are a big girl and you don't accept them. But at the end of the day, this was your very first business.
Yes.
And your partner, I assume, right?
It was second or third for him, but this was the largest.
Yeah, like this was really the real deal. The real deal, right. Yeah, so this was all the chips are in. Yes. Right. All the skins in the game. Yeah. So, and the reason I'm going there is they just didn't have that experience on that end. That's all that was, right? So life says, well, we're going to give you a boot camp, and we're going to give you a lot of wisdom with this, right? Like I said with the restaurant, major life lessons, major business lessons with an Ivy League price tag. Never spent a minute in class. But looking back, obviously I'm telling you things you already know, but I just want to share that it's so vitally important to know who you are, what you bring to the table, but also what you don't.
Yes.
What you don't. Yeah. So I love that. So now you're starting to go into this rough time. Right. Okay. How far in before you started hitting that rough time? Was it a year? Was it 6 months?
It was a little over a year.
Okay. But before that, was everything going good? Great. Was it going good with the partners? Yeah. Money was coming in. You guys were managing it. And, so all that. So the other part of that, besides what you know in business, what you knew, you didn't have any other issues, like to know how to put back into the company, know what to take it. Okay, so all that, man, God damn, you had everything except for that one sales guy. Yes, right. Exactly. And that's okay. I mean, but it's just because
that was the difference between making it and breaking it. No, and we broke it. Right.
And look, at the flip side, it would have been like me doing that, right? Bringing all this work in, saying, we'll handle it, and then, oh my God, and that's really what happened with the restaurant. And I told you that. Yeah. I brought all the business in, but I look back and it was a train wreck, right? Yeah. It was because I actually underestimated the systems in a restaurant. Yeah. I looked at it as a burger joint. Yeah. How hard could this be? Right. Oh my God, was it hard? Yeah. It was hard. Yes. And it wasn't my world. So we went down the same path, just a different industry, right? And different weaknesses. Right. So I absolutely get it, but I love. First of all, thank you for being so transparent. Oh, sure. And you're going to bring a lot of value. So now you're feeling the heat.
Feeling the heat.
And what's going
on? We started taking huge deductions. Yeah. Pay.
Yeah. I mean, just to survive.
Now we're behind on bills. Yeah. And we had one job that we thought was going to go through, and it was going to be the kickstart to it, and very last minute it fell through.
Where were you mentally? Where were you emotionally and mentally?
Could not have been more beat up. Yeah. Well, at the time.
No. Right. You've never been. Listen, you were never down that road.
No. Right. No. And we were working 16, 17 hours a day, 6-7 days a week, and just 4 o'clock in the morning, man, let's go. We were excited. Yes. But then there towards the end, now it's a chore. Now going into the office is depressing. Right. And there was no right frame of mind.
Right. You were just lost, scared, and confused. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's really the trifecta. Lost, scared, and confused. Yes. So then you get to a point, because we're only human, when you get to a point where you're like, there's no way out. Where do I go? And trust me, I was there at the restaurant. You're like, what in the world? This is what you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning going, holy shit. Yep. Holy shit. Yeah. Holy shit. No question about it. But that builds so much character, and we need that. So how far down the road did you go before you said, we have to pull the plug on this?
We didn't have any money in the account.
So you just said this is it?
Yeah, we said this is it.
Okay.
There's nothing.
So then what did you do?
I went home, and that was a very humbling experience.
Yes. Yeah.
To go home Friday, a business owner, and to wake up Monday morning, unemployed, broke, mentally, emotionally, physically beaten up and worn down, and in no frame of mind to go and sell myself to a company to hire me.
No, you were just, you went through a 15-round fight and you're beat up, you're cut up, believe me, I know. So so personally you were hurting too financially?
Yep.
Okay, so you put all your skin in the game.
Yep.
Right? I know, I get you.
Everything.
I get you.
Yep.
So how did you start to turn out of it? Well, let me ask you this. How were you and your partner? How did everything leave? Everything?
Yeah, we're great.
Good terms.
Yeah,
okay.
we're great.
You just knew
It fizzled.
It got out of it. We just made some wrong decisions at the wrong times, and we own it. And this is what happened. And if we had to do it all over again, we would do this, this, and this.
Yes.
We know.
We were friends going into it,
and friends came out.
We were friends coming out of it.
Good.
It was our baby.
Now you said there was a third person.
Well, we ended up buying him out. We had a third partner in the very beginning.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, but we ended up buying
just
him.
Not long term.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was up in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
We were here. And it just wasn't working out.
Now, how was your partner that Friday? How was he?
He was just as upset as I was.
As beat up.
Yep. He had positioned himself, and I'm very grateful that he did, into going to work for somebody right away. It was one of our customers.
Oh, so he got a job.
Yeah, he got a job. We talk about it now. It was painful at the time. We talk about it now, where I said I went home Friday a business owner, and I woke up Monday unemployed.
Right.
Well, he went home a business owner, and Monday morning he woke up an employee.
Right. It's still not a good thing.
Yeah, it was. It's we're still.
You can say what you want, right? You might get that check, but listen, that's a tough, especially when you get the taste.
Yes.
You get that taste, and you had some success early.
Yes, exactly.
So you're like, God damn it.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, that actually might even be a little worse, right? In a way, because you feel trapped. And now right, as an entrepreneur, and you found that DNA that was buried so deep.
Yep.
You found that it took 17 years, but you found it.
Yep.
And I always say a true entrepreneur is suffocated working for somebody.
Yes.
And when they find their entrepreneur, right, and not everyone is, but when you find it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you guys having success.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's just slipping through your fingers. It's like, damn, right?
Yes.
Because now you're looking for work because you want to eat,
yes, right?
But at the same time, listen, you can't go back.
No.
Long term.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, long term.
Exactly.
Okay. So now how did you start to get out of that funk?
Well, I'm calling it now because I can laugh about it now.
Right.
The 4 R's. Okay.
All right.
And I went through a pretty serious period of depression. Okay. Don't try this at home, kids.
Right.
Don't try this at home.
Exactly.
The first R, rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Okay.
And of course, now I know that it really wasn't, but at the time.
Hey, listen, at the moment, it was.
It was rock bottom.
Emotionally.
Yes.
Okay.
It was rock bottom. And, you even tried to talk to me during that period.
Was that when?
Yeah, that's exactly when.
Is that when?
That's when it was.
That's when you were.
And it was like, I like what he's saying, but I wasn't there yet.
We weren't ready. You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready. So I went from rock bottom to realization.
Okay. Now let's stop a second.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Someone had recommended you give me a call.
Yep.
You called me out of the blue.
Yep.
And I remember where I was. I was literally down on La Mesa in a parking lot, and we were talking.
Yep.
And as you know by now, right? it doesn't matter if you don't like what I say.
Exactly.
But I'm going to keep it real because that's where the value is. And I'm cheating you and myself if I'm not keeping it real. So I just went right to ownership, and I went right to, okay, that's good, but now what are you going to, what have you done for me lately?
Yes,
right? That's what life says.
Yes.
So, and I could feel it, right? You were saying you were trying.
Yeah.
You were trying with everything you had. And understand, this is the first time we physically met earlier today because she came to my office and is going to help me out. But I could feel everything you had in you. You wanted to take that in, right? But you just weren't there. Okay, so I just want to understand that.
I couldn't. And
okay, so the second R is
realization.
Realization. Okay.
And this is a doozy, okay?
Right.
And
this is the game changer.
This is the one that I really want everybody to hear.
Okay.
I found out, I realized on my own, the universe owes me nothing.
That a girl. That a girl.
It didn't matter how hard I worked. It didn't matter that I put my heart and soul into it. It didn't matter that I put my money into it. It didn't matter.
Right.
The universe didn't owe me because I was a good person.
Right. Right.
And then it was like, okay, well, nobody's going to come to my rescue.
How did you get there? How did you figure that part out?
The realization?
Yeah.
Well, even though I didn't take your advice that day, I did start following you on Facebook that day. Yeah.
Okay.
And was reading all of your posts, and little by little, I was connecting. It was making sense.
You were dipping your toe in.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were posting the videos from Gary Vee, and the two of you, your style is real.
Okay. And that's who you are.
And it was, I had people pat me on the back and put their arm around my shoulder long enough. But now what I need is somebody to say,
tough love.
Yeah.
Tough love.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's
Get
life.
off the couch.
Life goes, we don't care.
Yeah. Get off the couch. So I'm back into the self-help thing and
the realization,
the motivation, and now I'm making some progress.
Okay.
I can talk to people and not be pitiful.
Exactly. Okay. So you're getting out of that rut.
Yep.
Right? It takes guts to get out of the ruts.
Yep.
Okay. So now what's the third R?
Recovery.
Okay. Love it.
Yep. So I had to fix myself.
Okay.
And it was kind of a realization during recovery. This is groundbreaking, okay? You ready for this?
Yep.
Nobody is going to believe in you until you believe in yourself.
100, right? 100.
Yep.
So that's part of your recovery.
That's part of my recovery.
And you just immerse yourself into personal development.
Yep.
Right?
And getting healthy, getting back out in the world, getting around people because I had isolated myself.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, the fourth R was rebound.
Okay. That a girl. I love it. Just let's figure this out now.
And let's do this.
Yes. And what you have that I feel that I know, and then now sharing your background for sure, over a lot of people is now that you're in a rebound, you have such an advantage because you're all about lacing your boots up and getting to work.
Yeah.
No, and that's a huge advantage over a lot of people. And people ask me, why don't you coach? Why don't you mentor? Because as soon as someone comes at me with an excuse, I'm gone. Right? And that's not I'm not that coach. I'm not that mentor. I'm not that guy, because most people don't really understand what it's going to take.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to babysit. I'm not here to I'm not a coddler, right? I'm the football coach.
Exactly.
There's times where, you need support, but I feel your energy and I can see it in your eyes. That's the biggest advantage you have, is you are going to outwork everyone else. Yeah. And I love that. I love that mentality, because that's where I'm at. Yeah. Right. So respect, girl.
All right.
I love that. So now you have a company that you launched a few weeks ago.
Yes.
I love the name of it. and I love the concept of it. Share that.
All right. Well, if you go to my website, you see my story a little bit. When I was a little girl, I wanted to be the one that set up the desk to play school. Because this was a pretty big video game. You had your imagination.
Absolutely.
And, I wanted to set up the racks to play store. I wanted to set things up and make things look pretty and neat.
And flow.
And then I wanted to back away from it. I wasn't interested in playing at that point. My play was setting it all up and organizing it and putting it. Well, now you go forward, and I'm a planner. And I'm a project manager. So the creative piece isn't there, but I'm still doing the same thing.
Yes, but you're creating. But instead of creating the desk itself, you still have to create systems. And in your level, right, where you were for 17 years, don't make no mistake. She's creating systems that constantly have to be tweaked and better. So in other words, you're being tested in your world. Your world. See, I love that. So your coordinating skills have got to be top notch. Now, I know that in the fact that different industry, but you could jump in with both feet. Is my ex-wife's a corporate event planner, right? And the things that she used to have to do, I go, Michelle, I can't believe they get anybody to, and she loves it, right? I go, I can't believe they get anybody to do this. But she loves, the control chaos, right? That's your oxygen.
Absolutely.
That's your oxygen. So your skill set and your passion could parlay into a corporate event planner, whatever that is, right? You can get it done, right? So when someone says, Kellee, did you do this, this, and this? Yep. And on time. I love that. I'm in awe because,
So during the recovery, I had to set up a home office. I had to do something. Right? Well, even though I'm a professional organizer, I had my own clutter room. And I got in there and started cleaning it up to move everything out so I could move in my pretty desk and my credenza and all of that. And it took me 2 days. It was the best 2 days I had had in the 5 months.
Would you call it therapy?
It was,
right? Emotional therapy.
It was.
Really?
And what I was doing, because that room had become the catch-all from everything else in my house. Everything else in my house was organized. This was my room. Well, I'm not just moving stuff to the garage. I'm actually putting things where they're supposed to go.
Right, and it works for you.
And I'm getting pumped up about it. I am moving furniture and filling up Goodwill bags, and I can't stop.
Wow.
And 2 days into it, I woke up.
The idea burned.
And I got my partner on the telephone and said, I've got this idea. And it may sound crazy, but I think I can go into people's lives and help get them organized.
What did he say?
Go for it.
And I think the corporate world is where you really and a much better opportunity too, financially. But I'm just a man. So I saw your post, right? And I go, this is awesome. This is awesome. And as the universe works, I was thinking of this way before. I see your post, and then that's when I reached out, and I'm like, I actually need this, and I would love to talk to you, but we got to get you on the show because I know a little bit of your story, right, from when we talked. But I wanted to get you on the show because this is such a huge void, especially for entrepreneurs that are creative, because it's so hard for us to think about the other stuff, right? And we had our first meeting at my home office today, and I love what she said. She said, we want to make this the Monster Motivator Cave, right? The Monster Motivator, because I said to you, actually, you said it to me. You knew. You said, when you walk in here, you're not loving it, are you? I go, not only am I not loving it, it's a chore. Yep. It's a chore for me, right? So, and you're starting, you know my flavor and my brand. Yep. So I'm excited to see what we're going to be able to put together. But let me tell you, I am a client. We're here just because I know there's so much value and because of your story, right? Because of your dad. So now you're a few weeks in.
I'm a few weeks in.
And you're full on.
I'm full on.
Okay. So break down what you do for people.
This is where it kind of gets exciting for me.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, because I'm not going into someone's home or their business to clean.
No.
There's some coaching here. There's some coaxing here as well. I'm going in and helping you feel okay about getting the clutter out of your life. If you've got a cluttered room, a cluttered closet, a cluttered garage, whatever, if there is clutter, you've got clutter in your life.
Yes. Dysfunction.
And people
keep it real.
Don't want to let go of things.
Right. Or even say that they have this.
Or say that they have it.
Yes.
And so that's when you hire a professional organizer, that's what you're doing. I'm going to come in and I'm going to work with you. Like I told you today, it doesn't do me any good to go in. It doesn't do you any good for me to go in and set up your office and then leave.
Right.
If it's not where you want things to be,
right,
and it makes sense to you, then as soon as I leave, it's going to go right back to what it was before.
Exactly.
So I need to get in there and I need to know, I need to learn about my client. What is the rest of your house like? What is the rest of your office like? What is your lifestyle like? What is it that's holding you back? Okay. And let's purge.
Okay.
And just like it was therapy for me, it's therapy for my clients.
Absolutely.
As well.
Absolutely. And once you start getting going, I'm really looking forward to the testimonials and the feedback on how it makes people feel. Now, do you have something in place where, say 3 months down the road, they say, we want to bring you back for maybe we have to do something here, or we tweak this or we tweak that, then you can offer that service as far as, okay.
With each project, 2 weeks after we complete it, I will go back and do a check-in to make sure that, because now you've had a check. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit while we're walking through it. Now you've had a couple of weeks to function without me being around. Do we need to move things around? Okay. And then if the client wants it, we'll do a monthly or quarterly, whatever tune-up.
Oh, good.
Where it comes in. And hopefully it starts expanding then to other areas.
You're creating a lifestyle change.
Yes.
And that's the bottom line.
Exactly.
And no matter what, whether you're talking physical, if you want to get into shape, it's got to be a lifestyle change. If you want to eat better, it's got to be a lifestyle change. If you want clutter out of your life, it's got to be a lifestyle change. And that's who you are, right? You're that person.
Yep.
Before we go any further, I know we had some people jump on. We even see some hearts.
Hey.
Marion, do we have some people jump on with some comments or questions?
Yeah, we have a bunch. Gary Oakley.
Yes.
He said, sounds like a great show is brewing. I'm just saying, yeah, baby.
Yeah, my man Gary, great guy, man. Thank you for jumping on. Anybody that thinks or even is thinking about this type of help, got to reach out to her. She's gonna. Kellee will share all her information when we jump off. Anybody else, Marion?
Yeah, Kathy Compact says nice.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you for jumping on.
And Shane the Train says, my man, Dave Rock. And then he goes up and says, Monster Motivators, both of you.
Oh,
there you go. Shane Train, big train in the house. Anybody else, Marion?
Mark Duncan, a great night to all.
Thank you, Mark, for jumping on.
Lori Shaw says, hey, Kellee.
Lori, Legal Shield. I just was on the phone with her. Awesome, awesome girl. Great service. And just a great person, her and her husband.
And I want to get two more in. Terry Stonebridge, Dave Rule.
Yes, he does. Yes,
Thank you, guys. Appreciate the love.
So do you, Kellee.
Absolutely.
Nicole Ludegard, it says, hi, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's feeling it home. You're feeling it.
Right.
She's feeling the love. She's feeling the love. And Nicole was just on.
And we just got one from Gloria Madrona.
Yeah.
Stuff. I had second debut while I'm out at the ballpark December 9th.
All right.
Nice.
Awesome, Gloria. Thank you for jumping on. Nicole, she was just on this week. Awesome show. This is a service that a lot of people, whether they realize it or not, really do need, and that's the real. So where do you see yourself going? What's your plan with this business? What's your 1 to 5 year plan with this?
Right now it's to pay rent.
Okay. That's right now.
Yeah. I within the next year would like to have somebody that's helping me with the labor.
Okay.
And an assistant.
Okay.
Because this time around, I am the person up front.
Yes.
This is my brand.
Yes.
I am Sort, Organize, and Simplify by Kellee. I mean, I put my name on it, which changed it for me.
Okay.
Now I only if it works, yay! I worked hard for it. If it doesn't work, nobody to blame but myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am now being more aggressive, more active.
Mm-hmm.
Found out that knew all along that this community was great, but the support,
They really are.
the love.
They really are.
Oh yeah, I have got a networking group that has lifted me up.
Yeah.
And they're holding my hand while I'm doing this. I've got a crew that's telling people about me and trying to get work for me. It's different.
I don't know if you're part of it, but the Marietta Chamber.
Yes, I am.
Patrick Ellis and what he's put together.
Yes.
I've never been around a chamber like that. It's absolutely dynamic.
Yes.
Dynamic.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
No, I'm completely immersed in it now.
Yes.
It is a great organization for any small business. And you may think you can't afford it, but the reality is you can't afford to not join.
It's an investment.
The chamber.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's an investment in yourself and in your company.
Right.
Your company, because just an amazing group and area to be around. The same way they adopted me, and I knew nobody. And like I told you, like those soft openings, I mean, we had a line around that building, right? The support was just absolutely amazing.
Yep.
So I get it. So do you see yourself going into the commercial corporate world as well?
Yep, I do. Would like to get to commercial.
Okay.
Because of the coaching that goes along with it.
Right.
And that one of the things that makes a company, especially a small one, a success is repeatable processes.
Yes.
I'm your girl.
No question.
I'm your girl.
No question. And it's such a great avenue and direction to set up that not only the systems like you can do, but the ongoing support.
Yep.
Right? That consultation, that once you get it said, like you've done for 17 years, you got, okay, great, we have this. But now 6 months from now, some things have changed.
Yep.
Vendors have changed. Products have changed. Laws have changed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So that, I think with your experience and your resume, that's...
And then it's regional.
Okay.
Then it's statewide.
Okay.
Then it's national.
Yep. So
and I'm willing to bet that somebody in Europe could benefit from some organization.
Absolutely.
Now, there's nothing stopping me now.
Absolutely. And that's where I wanted to go with this. In the corporate world, you have that experience to come in and actually change their business.
Yes.
Change their business.
Yep.
And that's so important for people to understand.
Yep.
That's why I was so pumped when I saw what you're doing. It's so needed on a consistent basis. Without systems, man.
The work I do affects your bottom line.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that's why you're in business, is your bottom line.
100%. It affects, and let's be clear, right? It affects your bottom line, good or bad.
Exactly.
Right? If there's no system, you're not going to be around long.
Exactly.
If there's a bad system, it's going to be a rough road, right?
Exactly.
And if it's a good system or a great system, it still has to be tweaked.
Yes.
Everything's always in motion.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
I love this. So, Kellee, is there anything, well, before we do that, Marion, is there anybody else jump on that we want to acknowledge and talk to?
Just some shout outs. There's Michael James.
Okay. Michael.
And Tim Shaw.
Oh, yeah. Lori's husband. What's up, big man?
And then we have Seth Riley.
Okay. And guys, make sure you share this show if you're getting value from it, because there's a lot of people that can use her services, and we want to fill up that calendar for her because she'll handle it and make it happen. So businesses out there, homeowners out there, talk to this lady, get some information. She wants to give back, but she has a ton of experience and a ton of value to bring. So you don't have no idea how pumped I am for this business. I love it. Go ahead, Marion.
Okay, and then we have shout outs from Kathy Kopak.
Oh yeah, Kathy. That's
and Colin Porter.
Yeah, Colin, how are you, man? Thanks for jumping on. I still didn't forget you. I'm gonna get you some footage, and feel free to pull footage that you see to move things along with the project we were talking about. So I gotta throw that out there. Go ahead.
Okay, then we have Michael James.
Okay, Michael, thank you for jumping on.
Gary Stonebridge and Linnea Fisher.
All right. Carrie, thank you so much for all your support. This girl will share your show numerous times. She's just great people. What a giver. Thank you, Carrie.
And thank you, Linnea. Linnea is my friend from Atlanta.
Give her a shout out.
This is late, so thank you for hanging in there with me.
Thank you so much.
That.
And share this show so you can get her name out there and get her story out there, because it's going to help a lot of people. And let's get this business up and really rolling. So share it, guys. Let's see some hearts and see some thumbs. Anybody else, Marion?
That's all.
Okay, awesome. So, Kellee, is there anything that I didn't talk about, or anything that you want to share that I didn't talk about?
Just one thing, and it's a tip to anybody that's watching and listening.
Okay.
It's the holidays.
Okay.
And with my service or without my service, this is the perfect time to start purging.
Okay.
Let's face it, in a few weeks, you got presents coming in.
Yes.
And chances are it's not to replace, it's in addition to. So now's the time to go through your children's toys and take them out, go through your closet, pull stuff out. There are people all over the area that are in need. Yes. So donate.
Do you have any relationships yet with like a Vietnam vet or anything like that?
No, working towards that.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Yep. So I'm hoping that tonight helps with that.
Awesome.
But donate. Sell things.
Yep.
eBay it, Craigslist it if it's in good condition. But go ahead and take the time between now and Christmas to downsize some now to make room for the new toys, the new possessions that are coming in.
And even in the businesses, and here's where I want to go with that. I love that you did that, because at the end of the day, right, we talked about the universe, and there's laws that govern the way we live. And like you said, you walk up that ladder and you step off that roof. It doesn't matter if you're a great person or not. The law of gravity is going to say you're going to fall and you're probably going to get hurt, right?
Yep.
So there's other laws, and one of the laws is when you create a void, an opening, the universe fills it like it just fills that hole. So in other words, when you start to clear out the clutter, it gives room for newer better, expansive things. What do you think about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
support that completely.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And that's ultimately what you do. And let's set a little seed.
Okay.
So we're coming into the holiday season, and you're absolutely right. You're going to have more stuff now that's going to clutter. But let's take it a step further. Let's tie this in with a mindset. We're also coming into the New Year's resolution.
Yes.
Right? So
Yes.
let's set a resolution to clear the clutter, because that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
Clear the clutter,
Yep.
get set so you can hit the ground running for 2017. And I have to do this because of the things that we want to implement coming into 2017 for the Monster Motivator TV. So I'm telling the universe, I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready. And that's what you have to do to get ready for 2017. Whatever you want to do, clear the clutter, get organized, so now you can take more on. So you're opening up that plate. So I love that. I love that. So we'll have to think of a little logo for the first of the year. So anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Floor's open.
Yeah.
So breaking through those fear barriers, there's times where you have to go through those 4 R's,
Yep.
and I want you to share that when we jump off, right? Because I love that.
Okay.
And I'm going to borrow some of them.
Absolutely.
The 4 R's, I love that. And at the end of the day, Kellee realized that, listen, nobody's going to do it for her.
Yep.
You got to put on those big girl boots, right? Lace them up and get to work. And I always say, I don't know if you found this or not, you probably have, that action is fear's kryptonite.
Yes.
When you're taking action, there's no room.
There is no
for
room. No. Yep.
So we end the show the same way, every time. And I believe that we can only be in one state of mind at a time.
Mhm.
So if we're in victim state, there's no room for gratitude.
Yes.
If you're in gratitude, there's no room at that moment for a victim.
Yes.
And if you could be in that unstoppable state most of your day, how great would that be?
That would be amazing.
And as we talked about, you know this better than anybody, that the life makes the rules, right? I don't make the rules, you don't make the rules. And life always gives you options. And right now, life is saying, Kellee, do you want to purr like a kitten or roar like a lion?
And I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
I want to roar like a lion.
I knew what that answer was. So we're going to end this with the Monster Motivator roar.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
I am.
That a girl. I love it. I love it. So on 3, we're going to do the Monster Motivator roar, because we are going to come in to 2017 roaring like a lion. She's going to clean up your mess so you can hit the ground running, and you have no excuses, because we are real, raw, and live. And on 3, you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Ah! Awesome.